Hi, I'm Anijah White,
And I'm Morgan Langley.
and we're going to go around asking UWM students about gun control policies, gun control, and how safe they feel in their schools.
How do you feel about what's been going on recently in national news with different school shootings?
So personally, I feel like it's really crazy what's going on. I feel like we have all of this violence and all of this gun violence happening for no reasons. A lot of times we have kids doing these acts, bringing guns to school to protect themselves, and I really feel like there's a deeper story. So I feel like with these kids, we have to talk to these kids, possibly sit them down and see what they're going through at home, whether that's peer groups or if that's just like cohorts. But I feel like the kids have anger issues or issues they're facing at home, and then tying that in with the issues they're facing at school is resulting in them bringing violence to school.
So how do you then feel about teachers being the new policies stating that teachers can be armed?
I feel like that is really, really bad. I feel like we're going to have more, personally, minorities getting killed by teachers, I personally feel. I don't feel like I just feel like it's really not a good idea. Maybe no guns sounds better than that, but having armed teachers I don't think it makes the kid feel like they're safe. I know when I go to school, I don't want to see my teacher with a gun. It's like, you're here to teach me, not show me that you're strapped and armed and ready for whatever that can happen. So I disagree, and I don't like that the teachers can have guns.
So what is your opinion in general about the Second Amendment right to own and bear arms? What's your view? Are you against it? Are you with it?
I don't think that we need to have like semi-automatic weapons. I do like the pistol option. Like that's still one of our rights, I feel like. So I guess guns kill people, not people usually, but semi-automatic weapons aren't like the greatest thing in my opinion for people to have. Just if someone gets their hands on it, you know.
Awesome. And what do you feel about the new policies being put into place allowing teachers to have a right to bear arms?
I think that's a good idea. I mean, teachers are usually pretty good people, and if something does happen, at least there's someone responsible with a gun.
All right, so can you tell me any of your opinions about gun control and the recent gun violence that's been happening in the world today?
Yeah, I actually went to the March on DC, and it was so inspiring. It was fantastic. Yeah, I went with a couple of friends from UW Milwaukee, actually. And I think that as long as you are trained and you are certified and you know what you're doing, you should have a gun. And I think that if you don't, then just like driving, you shouldn't drive, you shouldn't have a gun.
So how did you feel at the march? Like, what was something inspiring that you remember from the march and being there?
All the guest speakers that they brought in, just the different topics and the different opinions and perspectives that they brought, it was really interesting.
It was exciting. I was there too, so that's awesome that you went.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for answering a few questions.
Not a problem.
I like these ice packs. Thank you. Hi. Okay, we're going to go downstairs and see how people feel. So I wanted to ask you a few questions about how you felt about gun control and new gun control policies that are being put into place today.
No, I'm actually not fully aware of gun control because I kind of stray away from it as much as possible because I feel that I don't really have much of a say to talk about it because, I mean, gun control, yes, right to bear arms and all that, but I feel that it's getting to the point where it's super toxic. One thing I am fully aware of, though, is that Donald Trump wants to arm teachers, which I think is kind of ridiculous. I shouldn't feel that my own teacher should be an officer as well as teaching me. They should just focus on what they're supposed to do. They're not supposed to be overwhelmed and all of a sudden it's their responsibility to protect all of us.
What's your general opinion about what you've heard on the news about schools like Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, who just experienced the school shooting?
It's absolutely terrible. Something needs to be done to stop it.
And how do you feel about the new policies being put into place that allow teachers to bear arms?
I hate it. Absolutely. I don't think teachers should be able to bear arms in schools.
Do you feel safe at school after all this has been happening?
Generally, no. I'm worried that a school shooting could happen anywhere.
So how have you felt about the overall national news about different school shootings in the past year and past?
I think it's disgusting. I think it's reckless how long the government has allowed it to continue happening. Something better needs to be done at this point.
Okay. And what do you want to happen with Congress after you've seen the March for Life happen and with the new policies being put into place?
I firmly believe that the gun age should be raised. I don't think an 18-year-old child should be able to buy a gun. I think that's ridiculous. I don't think we should arm teachers either. I feel like that will just add to the problem. The only way to really stop this, I believe, is to have better mental health services and to raise the gun age.
After interviewing a variety of faces, there's a varied opinion on whether or not we should be allowed to have guns, but there's a general consensus moving forward with positive change towards gun policy and gun control. For Media Milwaukee, I'm Morgan Langley.
And I'm Anijah White.